we're going to start it off in the reverse order. We got to talk about this thing that happened between the final boss, the tribal chief, and the American Nightmare. We got to talk about it, guys. I want to talk about it. I want to hear every guy's perspective before I get mine. I'm going to try to be not biased tonight. I'm going to try to be not biased, but I'm excited about it. I want to go to Jacoby first. I want to hear, Jacoby, tell the people, just in case they're living under a rock, tell the people what really happened last night.
Well,
like I said that, right? Living under you like that, though.
I understand. I see what you did there. You know what? You went through that whole recap, and I'm surprised you didn't bring up your guy making an appearance in the announcement.
Hey, listen. When it's your guy, I knew one of you guys were going to bring it up, so I didn't want to be that. I told you I'm gonna try not to be biased. I told you I was gonna try not to be biased.
I think I liked it. It was a perfect cliffhanger. You gave him just enough to say, "Oh man, I gotta watch what happens next week. I gotta see what they're gonna do next," which is exactly where you want the people to be. Because if you make it too predictable, some folks might tune out instead of tuning in. So I really like what they did. You knew something big was going to happen. They was like, they gave us Jimmy back. That was big. You heard the reaction. Me and Junior and Chris was watching. We knew it was Jimmy when we saw the shoes, because whenever you see cocaine white Air Force Ones, like you know what it is. So once you've seen cocaine, once you've seen the cocaines, it was a wrap. And then they gave us that. I love the moment they gave you where Jimmy was trying to get Roman to go back, and Roman was like, this is a one-time thing. They went back, fought him off. He thought it was over then after he gave him the belt back, because I honestly thought he was going to just drop the belt at his feet. But it's a full-on face turn now, so he handed him the title. Then you got The Rock. I wanted him to talk, but that's what you want. You want to lead the fans wanting more. I think it was a perfect ending. And then that still wasn't even the end of the show, to be honest.
Yeah, we'll get to that. BJ, what you got to say to the people?
Oh, well, hey, everyone. How's it going? It was a great pay-per-view. I thought the last match was a pretty good tag match for what it was. Bloodline, Cody Rhodes. It was by the book, standard. I love Jimmy's reemergence. You know what I loved about that moment? I love how they had Jimmy standing there in the shadows of it. No one really paying attention to him. And it's always like, who is that? Because I felt that whole moment. Probably my favorite return of the night. Then The Rock came out after the whole beating of the bloodline by Roman and all that. Here's the thing, though. The Rock, as much as he likes the whole, if you went on social media, he did do a whole promo immediately following that whole situation. It was a promo of him meandering and going on, just using F-bombs and not saying anything. He went about the whole business saying, the final boss, is he upset? Is he happy? Is he sad? Is he crying? Final boss, Steve Austin. Love Dusty Rhodes. Didn't say or do anything. This match was not worthy of a main event. I'll tell you that much. Nothing in that whole situation was a main event. It was just a good match. Could have got that on SmackDown. I love Jimmy's return, but it wasn't a main event. That's my only beef. It shouldn't have been a main event.
On SmackDown?
Could have been on SmackDown. Well, that's true. It should have been, because it's Roman's return, so that's fair. But I mean, it's on a literal B pay-per-view, Bad Blood. I'm not trying
you're recorded. I want to let you know you are recorded, right? You recorded saying this on the last episode when these guys said that they didn't want the tribal chief to win. So you want your tribal chief to be on SmackDown.
Oh, stop that. That's not what we said.
He wasn't going to lose. They should have recognized that fact. But, okay, I take that back. It should have been on the pay-per-view. It just shouldn't have been the main event. I'm not holding back on that statement. It shouldn't have been the main event. That's it.
Ain't nothing good enough.
Yeah, Solo needed Bloodline 2.0 needed this win.
Why?
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but this is Roman's return. Last time we saw Roman, it was at WrestleMania. He was lying on his back. Now we're going to see Roman come back again and lose. Even if he doesn't take the pinfall, it's just, he's got to have that win. It's just, and plus, it doesn't really change the dynamic of things, because you can say the win is because Jimmy came back, or you can say when The Rock shows up, he's looking at a situation where things ain't going right. So it ain't, Roman gets the win. Solo's fine, because now we're about to realize maybe The Rock is pulling the strings. I don't know.
So, Crump, go ahead and react. I want you to react. Tell the fans your reaction about when The Rock showed up, and then we'll get into the Cody Rhodes, the blood, that whole main event match. We'll unpack that right after we get you and Lonnie's reaction to The Rock showing up.
So like I said, I guess it was the best moment for him to come back. Like I said, I love the pop. I mean, Rock gonna always get that pop, but him just gesturing and stuff like that, I guess I just wanted a little bit more. And him to bring that belt out there was very unnecessary. I was like, we get it. You the people's champion. You got it from Muhammad Ali's wife. I get it. But it was no point of you having that belt out there right at that moment. You could just walk out there with your fancy vest on and your $1,000, $10,000 shades and all this and that. See Final Boss like 30 times when you head to your truck. I feel like I just need a little bit more from him. I feel like I guess sometimes less is more, but right at this moment, I feel like I needed just a little bit more from The Rock.
What did you need from The Rock? What did you need?
I need him to say something. Come to the ring at least.
Well,
He went out to the and went right back out. All the fans can't see you from right there. Let the fans see you. Go straight to the ring. Go to your family.
Now, they didn't have any, huge set design like they did once back in the day, so I think everybody saw.
I don't know.
They saw as much as they could.
Let's get Lonnie's reaction, and then we'll unpack all that.
Well, I'm going to say that I enjoyed everything I saw from that point on, from post-match to when The Rock came, because here's my few points about this. I look at things a little differently. I saw some things that I didn't hear mentioned here. First off, Jimmy came back, Roman's first match back, you know what I'm saying, and Cody's hometown. That's a lot in itself. What does The Rock need to do when he comes out other than his presence? If you do too much in that night, it's like, oh man, now we got to pick up. Secondly, I want to remind you that when The Rock did come out, they did take a shot at the bloodline, the new bloodline 2.0, whatever you call them, in the audience, saying, let's get out of here. I want to know, why would they do that? So where does that play a part later down the road? So overall, I think that was good. I just don't believe you should do so much. I know the Triple H is booking. He doesn't do so much at once. He keeps you guessing to come back. So if The Rock would have came out to the ring, in my opinion, and did something else other than, would it be better for him to stand in the ring and just don't do anything and then leave? Or just stand at the the entrance, and then do this thing, send a little subliminal message and leave? That's just my opinion. But I think that worked out perfectly, because now, like you said, like Kobe said, I believe, it keeps you guessing more. Now, what's going to happen next? Now we got something to wait on.
Now, I will say this, just to add my 2 cents, if I may. I will say this. The Rock's returning and the way he did it was a story in itself. The Rock is at a point now where he doesn't have to say anything. Now, we can get into the backstage rant that The Rock went on. And I think that fits the final boss character, because he's the final boss. What does he have to do? He said, I'm going to tell you, you'll know what the final boss is feeling when the final boss wants you to know, right? He's the final boss. But I want to ask this question to the room. So we saw him at the ramp doing the gesture or whatever. Was that message directed to Roman, or was it directed to Cody Rhodes? BJ, what's your...
Well, first, I just want to clarify one thing. I'm not implying that it's a bad moment because The Rock didn't say or do more. All I'm really implying is that moment isn't a reason to make that match the main event. That could have happened, and it would have been something to talk about. And it's just Bad Blood. It felt like the Drew and Punk match should have been the main event. That's my only thing. As far as what that gesture meant, I think it's towards, I don't know, I didn't think about this too tough. I'm going to actually say it's probably towards Roman. But you know what? He was counting off 3. He's probably just counting off all 3 of the targets. It's like 1, 2, because at first I thought it was the 1 he was holding up. Then he went 2, and then he went 3. And I don't know, it could have been a different 3 where you take away 2 fingers, and that's how he really felt about the moment. I'm not sure, but I kind of felt like he was counting off his targets and realizing, all right, I see what I got to do, because in the end of it, it's about that title. It's about being ahead of everything. I mean, he's already the final boss, but I'm pretty sure he wants to have a stake in his head at the table thing. I think it was at all 3 of them. And whoever else is going to be a part of this whole smorgasbord.
Go ahead, Lonnie.
I just want to say, I heard something else really quick that said, he said the final boss 30 times. Ain't no different than them saying The Rock 30 times. The Rock says, The Rock says, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no different. You know, but I will say, that I like the fact that I like where we at with it. And to going back to, but to who does that message to? I have to agree with BJ and say I think it's towards Roman more so, but I think it is also to Cody because Cody has the title. You know what I'm saying? Because remember the last time they was in the ring together, he said, "I'm coming back for your title." Essentially, I'm coming back for you and your title, right? And then, so I think it's more so towards Roman though. But he did say in the backstage on the truck, Dusty, I love you, but I hate your son." You know what I'm
Golly.
saying?
Oh, disrespectful. Lord have mercy. I love it. I love it though. I'm a heel. For some reason, I like that. But Jacoby, what's your thoughts?
On what his significance was in that moment or what he was trying to say, right? Where Lonnie just went is where I was going with it. He did tell Cody, "Hey, when I come back, I'm coming back for you." If I'm not mistaken, the last time Cody was pinned was by The Rock. If I'm not mistaken, I'm sure if I got that wrong, somebody in the comments will correct me. But if I'm not mistaken, the last time Cody got pinned in the match, no, it wasn't. Solo pinned him. But the last time The Rock was there, see, I corrected myself. So you don't have to do that in the comments. I read those things. But the last time The Rock was there, he pinned Cody. And like Lonnie said, when I come back, I'm coming back for you. I do like BJ's point of view of the 3 targets in the ring because he did mention everybody in his rant on Instagram. So again, that's the beauty of this. You can go so many different ways, which is why this was the last part of the show. The Punk and Drew thing was kind of the finality. So I'm good where that was at. But this had to be the end. This is what all the stars are. This is the main event story on SmackDown. And then you throwing the final boss on top of that. It's like having a good sandwich, but you adding another piece of meat on it or something. You know what I'm saying? Like it deserved it. It was going to get that spot because 1, Roman was in it, and 2, The Rock was in it. So if they're in it, and then the WWE champion's in it, bro, they're going to get that spot. So I know nothing's good enough for the professor. I know that was supposed to be the last. I think The Rock was just saying, "Cody, I pinned you before. I'm gonna get you again."
Yeah, I'm sure he's going. He got a target out on all 3 of them. I mean, it's coming down to that. We all know where it's going. But I just hope the follow up is much quicker than I ain't got to wait on The Rock months from now.
Now,
I need
just to be clear, the 3 we're talking about is Cody, Jimmy, and Roman, right? Just to be
yeah,
clear.
yeah. I'm saying I would like a follow up sooner rather than way later. Yeah, we all gonna we love like I said, we love the moment he coming out. It's cool, but like I said, I need to see where this is going. And it's Cody. I really don't want Cody in this War Games match. I feel like he shouldn't even be
He
in
won't
that.
be.
Cody,
He
do
won't
your
be.
own thing. And
Well, let me
what we
tell
talk
you.
about, later, maybe is what he's doing. But that's what I'm just trying to make sure that don't happen.
Right,
Uh,
right,
wait a
right.
minute.
I'd rather be family versus family, civil war type thing. That's what I'm looking forward to. Come Survivor, because they advertise Survivor Series and War Games and whatnot with this in this PLE. So I hope it's going where I think it's going with that. And I just want to see The Rock much sooner than later.
To that point, are you saying that instead of Cody, it needs to be Sammy? Because let's say it is Jay, but who will be that 4th person?
Yeah, Sammy. Yeah,
Okay.
that only makes sense.
All
Is
right,
Sammy
just be
gonna get?
clear. That's what it is.
Is Sammy gonna get his shot at the big time? I just want to.
Yeah, if he shot at the big time is a main event on Raw. All right, don't disparage those main events on Raw. Main eventing Raw
He
Like,
is
was
a
on the
big deal.
PLE, people. He was still on the PLE.
my God,
Mm,
He was
man,
out.
come on. Can we really count that as him being on the PLE? It was almost like, hey, we ain't got nobody else. You just go out there
If you
saying,
count him for Gunther, then you go count him for Sammy. He was right in the same segment.
Gunther's
They
the world champ.
they are making
So
these
what?
shows after the pay per views pretty big deals because they're trying to build off pretty good matches when you look at the show after the pay per view, and sometimes even the go home before the pay per view. They're trying to encapsulate the must see TV in those moments. And Sammy and
Who?
Gunther's a good enough main event for Raw. I mean,
Who? Final thoughts on the final boss.
He's the final boss.
he's the most
What you say, Lonnie?
electrifying man in entertainment.
He's the final boss, man. I mean, that's essentially it.
The most
Hey,
electrifying.
just what as much as they care about attendance and highest gross in arenas, the one thing they care about more is viewership. And the Brock is going to continue to bring eyes to the product. So they're going to sporadically use them to give them that boost, along with giving other talents the rub to elevate them. So this is a smart, calculated move by the company to make sure that you're looking at the weekly program as well as the PLEs. Of course, they want to sell out these arenas, but again, you make more money from viewership than you do attendance because the viewership leads to these big $1 billion TV deals that they get. So it's a big picture thing. It's a good for business. Oh God, I can't believe I just said that. No, I said it's good for business. I didn't say the other line. I didn't say it. I didn't say it.
But it is
I
good
didn't
for
say it,
business.
son.
What's wrong with saying that? There is no harm in saying it's good for business.
Jacoby has to say it. We need Jacoby to say it. Jacoby, you have to
I gotta say it.
Anyway.
It was.
Yes.
It's best for business. It's best for business.
business.